In a small, underfunded observatory nestled in the remote cliffs of eastern Iceland, Dr. Seylan Korr had devoted his brilliance to decoding the secrets of the universe. His hands were old, but his mind was sharper than the cold winter air biting through the layers of his clothing. On this not-so-ordinary night, he found himself staring at a trio of celestial wave patterns dancing on his antiquated desktop. Seylan was a man of logic, mathematics, and science, but these blue-tinged waves held a mystic rhythm that made him shiver. His peer, Irie Cantara, sauntered in, the shack's door whistling against the wind. Irie was a whiz with numbers and machines, a virtuoso in the world of theoretical computer science. However, her real love was music. Her earbuds were perennial residents, piping out melodies from Baroque to electric pop. Seylan stared at Irie and beckoned. Removing one earbud, she peered curiously at the trembling cyan patterns. "You've got my hair shaking in rhythm, Seylan. What's this?" "Cosmic radiation patterns," Seylan responded absently, his eyes still swimming in the waveforms. "They seem melodic, like music, perhaps." Irie stared at the screen, her eyebrow rose higher. Then she exclaimed, "Wait, these are notes, musical notes." Seylan gave a nod, something like amusement sparkling in his eyes. "I figured that would get your attention." With a shared clarity, the scholars began to weave together the patterns, translating each point of radiation into a note, and each note into a harmonic structure. They found themselves creating a celestial musical score that mapped the rhythms of the universe. A cosmic symphony of celestial bodies, quasars to black holes humming, folding into an unearthly melody. With every press of a button, a note chimed, an indent formed in the symphony, and the two savants sat entranced, their scientific experiment becoming an artistic exploration. As the symphony neared completion, it began to resonate with the walls of their tiny observatory. It rose and twisted, danced and plunged. Hours had passed, but neither Seylan nor Irie felt the weariness. Exhaustion had no place here. Tired hands, numbed by the Icelandic chill, moved independently as the invisible strings of the universe pulled them. The first cosmic symphony was nearing conclusion. When Irie played the final product, the notes breathed through the speakers, ethereal. They flowed like molten gold, seeping into the shivers of cold, making their spines tingle and eyes tear up. It sounded like nothing of Earth. It was the voice of the cosmos, distant stars, swirling galaxies, audacious quasars. Each note was a pulsating star, each pause a black hole, every crescendo a supernova. The world swept away in the tide of the cosmic symphony, yet Seylan sat motionless. He barely registered Irie's gasp of awe, or the tear sliding down his cheek. The last note resonated through the room, shaking even the coldest of corners, before fading into the silence of the night. They had, through the eons of time and the unthinkable distances of space, made contact with the universe. The greatest of all musicians were now insignificant, for they had just played the melody of the cosmos. The symphony of the universe, they decided to call it, a result of their late-night labors. Within days, they uploaded it for the world to hear, unsure of the reception, but wanted to share their incredible discovery. The symphony went viral. It was a phenomenon. People spoke of the elation in every note, the sadness in the silence, and the lingered long after the melody ended. Seylan and Irie woke to the world stunned by their revelation. "Where did you find such beauty?" asked an interviewer. "In the silent whispers of the universe," was Seylan's reply. Irie Cantara and Dr. Seylan Korr became global sensations overnight. From world-renowned scientists, philosophers to hard-boiled skeptics, everyone sang praises of the cosmic conductor. But amidst the chaos of fame, while the world danced to the tune of their celestial musical discovery, Seylan sat in the quiet splendor of the observatory. The echoing sense of connection with the universe pressed on his heart, and he couldn't help himself but wonder, what was the universe really trying to say through this music? He felt an intrinsic pull, a mystic rhythm dancing beneath sentences of his cosmic symphony, telling him that it was more than just random patterns. Determined, he dived back into the abyss of cosmic waves to unearth the secrets that were hiding beneath the symphony of the universe. The small Icelandic telescopic observatory bristled with a constant hum of activity, which fluctuated only with the arrival of new cosmic compositions. Seylan and Irie continued their work diligently, trying to decode the heavens. their imaginations fueling the desire for more celestial symphonies. With every new musical translation, Seylan began to feel a strange emotion, an intertwined passion and sorrow he couldn't articulate. It was a sentiment Seylan hadn't known before the arrival of the cosmic compositions. As the melodies increased, so did this anxious emotion, spiraling like a nebula at the core of his being. Meanwhile, Irie and Seylan's celestial symphonies were taking the world by storm, bringing a strange kind of unity seldom experienced before. It was the sensation of gazing up at the stars, a feeling shared by everyone who listened. Humanity was dancing to the tune of the universe, entranced by its mystique. Only Seylan could sense the hollowness lurking behind the cosmic harmonies. One afternoon, while studying a tantalizing pattern emitted from a distant nebula, Seylan felt a magnetic pull within his melancholic melodies. This pattern seemed different, possessing a harmonic sadness that plunged deeper into him than any other tune. It was this distinctive pattern that made him realize that these weren't just impressions, but emotions. He was experiencing what the universe was expressing. With a rush of realization, Seylan confided in Irie, "Irie, these melodies, it's like they resonate within me. Each score is not just music, it's emotion, the universe's own feelings." Irie, initially skeptical, agreed there was a certain emotional depth to the symphonies, which could not just be dismissed as coincidence. The scientists watched, fascinated, as the idea started to unravel. The universe had a voice, and it was using Seylan and Irie as instruments to be heard. The scientific zeal drove them further into decoding the signals. As they worked tirelessly, deciphering the celestial codes into music, Seylan's emotional states shifted with the changing symphonies. From subdued optimism to exhilarating joy to deep melancholy, the melodies stirred Seylan's emotions, matching the rhythm of the cosmic vibrations. He oscillated between the emotions like a pendulum, and gradually the cogs of realization fell into place. "Seylan, do you think, are we getting these exact sentiments from the universe?" Irie asked, starting to grasp the immense magnitude of what they had uncovered. "I believe so, Irie," Seylan whispered in awe. "We're not just receiving radiation signals, we're receiving the universe's emotions." As the duo delved deeper, uncovering more celestial emotions, Seylan was continuously subjected to these emotional waves. Simultaneous feelings of vibrancy and engaging sorrow grew more distinct as they progressed. There seemed to be a longing, a lament in these rhythms, which clashed with Seylan's previous perception of the universe, a spacious, emotionless void. It wasn't alignment with his emotions, but rather a raw exposure. He was the cosmic antenna, capturing these emotional radiations, experiencing what none could fathom, the cosmic sentiments. Despite the growing emotional storm within him, Seylan continued his work, drawing humanity closer to a shared rhythm of the universe, a sentiment in unity. As their work progressed, their understanding of these cosmic emotions grew, and each melody uncovered brought them closer to a thrilling, uncharted realm of scientific discovery. As the empath of the cosmos, Seylan teetered on a precipice, one step away from the chasm of a never-felt-before emotion, an abyss of sentiments that held a startling revelation. Seylan and Irie continued their groundbreaking exploration of cosmic music, decoding more of the celestial sentiments that poured in through the cosmic radiation. Each melody was a layered mystery, fascinating and intimidating in equal measures. Seylan's emotional spectrum had now stretched beyond any ordinary human thresholds, as he empathized with what felt like the cosmic consciousness itself. Weeks turned into months. Accolades poured in. More cosmic symphonies were released, each stirring different emotional responses in the listeners. But Seylan was growing weary, his mind saturated with the weight of the uncharted psychic territory they were delving into. One cold winter's night, as Seylan was nestling in the observatory, a series of intense emotional waves swept over him. Each wave racked his body with convulsive chills, as though he navigated through an unprecedented cosmic storm. His vision blurred, brushing past vignettes of distant galaxies, cascading supernovas, spinning cosmic storms, and encroaching dark matter. Staring at the screen ahead, Seylan noted one peculiar pattern persistent among all: a song of lament, a distinct melody of sorrow, the cosmic blues. Unlike before, this pattern sent shivers of stark realization through Seylan. It wasn't just a lament, it was a goodbye. Staring open-mouthed at Irie, Seylan whispered in a hoarse voice, "Irie, I think the universe is sentient, conscious and planning its end." Irie's startled eyes met Seylan's, the silence stealing the breath from the room. Colour drained from her face as Seylan explained the recurrent theme across all the symphonies they had decoded so far. The assembly of melancholy notes they had initially thought to be random, or governed by physical laws, now held a more ominous significance. Their seemingly harmless scientific discovery had led them to the crossroads of a revelation beyond comprehension. This melody was not random. It was deliberate, planned into the very fabric of the universe itself. Through every decoded song of the cosmos, the universe revealed its grand design, its introductions concluding with a farewell through Seylan's cosmic communion. The universe was grieving its end. Terrified, yet hoping against hope, Seylan and Irie set their scientific acumen at decoding this melody again. The recursive theme screamed through the data, conclusions painting a grim future. The scientific parameters validated Seylan's fears. Their cosmic musician was voluntarily planning to cease its existence. Sitting amidst the darkened room, lit only by dim monitors, Seylan and Irie tried to comprehend the incomprehensible, a mourning universe. Their discovery was nature singing scales of its own demise. Humanity was dancing on the tunes of their impending existential oblivion as the melody of a cosmic dirge echoed in the dark observatory. The weight of their discovery bore heavily on Seylan and Irie. The ecstasy of understanding was replaced with a dread-tinged numbness, knowing that these haunting symphonies transmitted the universe's own requiem. Sharing this with a world dancing to the tunes of their celestial opus was almost unthinkable. Would anyone believe them? Crippled with the imminent dread of cosmic cessation, Seylan found himself staring at the cosmic patterns spiraling on the screens. Their music no longer provided fascination and joy, but icy tendrils of fear. Despite their devastation, the two scientists knew they couldn't abandon their work. Seylan, though burdened by the universe's lament, was resolute. Whoever, or whatever, had set the universe's end in motion, he vowed to challenge this existential reality with science. Irie, sharing his resolve, began to reassess their data, wearing the lines of their findings like a second skin, uncomfortable but necessary. Inspired by quantum entanglement principles, she proposed a daring hypothesis. If they could re-engineer their decoding device to emit corresponding radiation frequencies, they might be able to establish a two-way communication with the outer cosmos. Days bled into nights as Seylan and Irie toiled relentlessly. Their fingers danced over keys and dials, their minds divided between the subtle fluctuation of cosmic frequencies and nuanced coding sequences. Many a time, attrition knocked on their doors, but their shared convictions spurred them to rewire, reprogram, overhaul, and finally, the machine, the communicator, was born. The first trial resembled a cosmic lottery, with Seylan hunched over the controls while Irie monitored the frequency response fluctuation. As Seylan hit the button, emitting the first counter-frequency, their eyes scanned for any change in the incoming cosmic radiation tracings. The communicator held its breath, humming softly as it transmitted its maiden frequencies towards the cosmos. The seconds ticked by like astronomical years, until, slowly, the received patterns began to change. They held their breath, their gaze glued to the flickering screen. The charts danced a brand new waltz. The melodies sang an unprecedented verse. They had successfully pinged the universe. Ecstatic but cautious, Seylan and Irie repeated their trials, messaging the cosmos, and each time seeing it respond. They had created communication. They were talking to the universe. Their joy was bittersweet, however, as they realized the gravity of their next task, convincing a cosmic consciousness to reverse its own programmed end. Seylan and Irie found themselves standing at the edge of the ultimate dialogue. They prepared to relay their message, a plea for mercy, into the celestial abyss. Seylan and Irie calibrated the communicator, adjusting the frequencies to resonate with their message. A juxtaposition of hope and apprehension hung heavy in the air. As Seylan hit transmit, an ethereal melody filled the lab, a plea, a lament of its own, communicating the beautiful fragility of existence to the cosmic entity. The scientist and musician held their breath as their message traveled through the galaxies, a tiny blip among the vast cosmos. The wait for a response was agonizing. Every tick of the clock echoed in the silence of the observatory, bouncing off the cold walls. The anticipation hung in the air, like a fog, escaping their every breath. Then, suddenly, the communicator pulsated, emitting an incoming frequency. A new melody responded through their speakers, an ancient hymn from the edge of existence, the forgotten song of eternity. Seylan's heart pounded as he interpreted the melody. It was a response, an agreement, tinged with poignant resignation. Ecstasy welled in Seylan as he shared the news with Irie. The universe had agreed. It would hold off effacing itself. It would extend its lifespan. Their plea had been heard. The cosmic conductor had heeded to their primal scream of survival. The world celebrated the new symphony, unknowing of the dire fate they had narrowly escaped. Seylan and Irie, within the comfort of their observatory, shared a quiet celebration of their own. Their hearts filled with conflicting emotions: triumph, guilt, relief, and a shared understanding that their work was far from over. They had been chosen custodians of humanity's galactic harmony. Seylan, still the cosmic empath, was tasked with keeping the conduit of communication open, seeing the universe with its very own eyes, nurturing the shared understanding between immense cosmos and its tiny inhabitants. The universe had bestowed upon them the gigantic task of aligning humanity with cosmic harmony, living up to the promise Seylan had made to the universe. As the symphony of continuation reverberated through the cosmos, Seylan took upon the mantle of the intermediary. An astronomer turned cosmic conductor, Seylan found his purpose: to ensure that mankind danced to a celestial rhythm that would echo in the hallways of eternity. Their lonely observatory was now the tiny control room, guiding the evolution of human race, the single connection between human existence and their once disregarded, now sentient universe. The intricate twist of fate had thus transformed Seylan, the astrophysicist, into Seylan, the cosmic conductor, the guide of humanity's cosmic harmony. They proceeded, hand in hand, into an age of conscionable exploration, a parallel path where celestial music guided humanity, building its ultimate symphony of existence in harmony with the cosmos itself.